Hi, I'm Susan Sevinsky. I'm an IT service analyst. I'm sort of like the nucleus in between IT, procurement, our vendor relations, as well as our business stakeholders and our vendors. So what that really means is I work to get all of our contracts signed with any of our vendors. And that's for like staff aug when we're hiring folks to fill in for roles. We're taking in contractors, when we're taking in new vendors, pretty much any person or firm or company that we bring in to work with IT. I'm the center point person to work with our billing, with our accounts receivables, and with legal to get them onboarded to work with us. But what I do like actually is working with the outside folks. It's nice to actually get to talk to other folks throughout the day that aren't just internally. But what I also like too is like the fact that I get to really face off with many different areas within Church and Dwight, not just the IT folks. So like every day I can talk with 20 to 30 different folks outside of our area. I come from a business and criminology minor, and then I have a master's in information systems. And before I came here, I had a 2-decade plus stop on Wall Street. But interestingly enough, when I was a child and in high school, I interned here every summer. My mother had a background here. My mother worked here all through my childhood. So I worked here in the summers, I worked here during college, and then occasionally when I was in college, I would do a couple trade shows a year just to kind of hang out with my mom on a weekend or two when I was off from school. So it was interesting after 20 plus years being completely out of here and in a finance background, an opportunity came up after I wanted to leave finance, and I ended up here about 5+ years ago, and I'm really happy I came back. And it's interesting that, you know, sometimes you can come home. I think first and foremost is don't ever sell yourself short. I think when we're younger, we tend to sell ourselves short. Like you can't do this or you can't do that. And you put yourself in these little boxes of, I need to stay over here, like this is my lane. And if you do that at a young age, you really will sell yourself short. Like I was on a path that I was always going to be in finance. And that's what I did. And it's not that I didn't enjoy it, but I'm happy that the time came that I decided to step away, and I ended up in consumer goods because I definitely would much rather end my career here than on Wall Street. You know, it was a definite step back that I needed, and I'm really glad that I took it. You know, everyone always talks about, you know, mental health and, you know, what's best for you or best for your family. And I had a lot of things going on in my personal life, and we had a death in the family, and I had a change in my marital status. I had gotten divorced, and I was a single mom. And it's like, you know, what's important to me? And it's, you know, money over happiness. And it's like, do I want to commute 4 or 5 hours a day and, you know, not see my son and not be, able to see his games and, you know, make the money so he can go to the best schools? Or do I want to, you know, bring him to public school and be able to see his games and not have that money? And it really became a very big no-brainer very quickly. And I chose to leave Wall Street and leave the money. And I can say in the 5 years, I've never looked back. It's been not an ounce of regret for the decision that I made. I know it's harder when you're younger to reach out, but I think step outside your comfort zone. Number one thing would be to find a mentor, whether it be a teacher, if you're in sports, a coach, even if it's just a friend's parent, like someone that you're comfortable with. A couple weeks ago, I volunteered at one of the junior achievement events, and it was interesting to see 65 sophomores in high school, each having a little bit of a different background. But when you can connect with them a little bit, like one of the things I think it's really important if they can find someone even at that age to talk to about finances, because connecting with some of these teenagers on that level was very interesting, talking to them about, what really is fiscal responsibility. because if you can get to someone at that age, it really builds the foundation very early. Advocate for yourself too. And I think children, teenagers don't realize that too. Like, learn how to advocate for yourself, like have your own voice.